All right, hey guys, y'all know I am Dr. Sherry Rochelle. I am a educated, doctorally prepared educator in the state of South Dakota, but I work internationally and nationally across this country with K through 12 and collegiate students who just need a little extra help, whether that's in Title IX or it's in mathematics. But today we're going to talk about this article you see from Forbes published on January 9th, referring to the pandemic and the hangover that exists. This is something that I have studied. This is something that I have spoken to educators about, and it is something that is absolutely factual. So, pandemic hangover. For all of you who were in a classroom on March 13th, 2020, you remember the cheers in the hallways of, hey, we don't have to come back to school for a week. You remember the work that went in to getting these students packets, never seeing them come back because we weren't asking for them back. Here is the impact of that. They are now predicting this at Stanford University that due to the learning loss caused by the pandemic, which was very different for very different reasons. In South Dakota, here, we returned back to school in August, in person learning. However, I know across the country that wasn't the case. We had states who didn't return back to learning until the following August. So there was kids out of school for 15 months. 15 months without being in a classroom is an impact that we can't undo. So here we are talking with an economist from Stanford, and they mentioned that the average student lifetime earning will feel a 6% decrease to their lifetime earning due to the learning loss caused by that pandemic and those months away from school. He goes on to talk about the bad news. Overall, in 2022, so 2 years after the pandemic, a year after most students returned to in-person learning, they've seen a decline on the national report card of 5 points in reading and 7 points in math. Never once before had math declined. Testing had declined, okay? This is the lowest we've seen since the early 90s, and that has not improved. If we continue to look at statistics, they have seen a performance decline of 18 points in fourth grade and 27 points in eighth grade. This is lower than the first time it was assessed back in 1995. So our students in 2022 were lower than they ever had been before. These are things that we don't contest. We know as educators that students are struggling. We know as educators that there is a gap. Not only do we have the gap caused by the pandemic, but we have the gap that was brought in by Common Core in its implementation not too long before the pandemic. So we are seeing a huge uphill battle that way. Now, not only is there a battle in the learning, but there's also an increased student health epidemic. We are seeing students struggle. I talked about it a little bit yesterday with the bullying situation, but the statistics are out there, right? We know that students are struggling. We know that teachers are struggling. We talk about chronic absenteeism. In 2023, we've seen 75% higher absenteeism in students than ever before, with chronic teacher absenteeism also being increased. Not only is there that, but there's financial troubles. But here's the good news, because everybody wants to see the brighter side. We are seeing outcomes in learning loss. With the right programs, with the right students to teacher connection, we can address that learning gap. We can correct it. We can get them back to being where they're supposed to be. It's not a one-way street. It is not an easy avenue. Teachers everywhere, share your thoughts down below in the comments. What are you doing to help address that learning gap? What are you doing to create a connection between home and school? And what are you doing to make your students really want to be there? Because without them in the classroom, we aren't going to correct that learning gap.